So this is a clearing on this deep, deep, deep belief everyone has that I've done something wrong. This is something very fundamental in every human being. Everyone that has decided to be in a human body, we feel at a very deep level that we've done something wrong. It might not be conscious, certainly wasn't for me for a long time. I'd create scenarios where I saw it outside of myself, where I felt I had done something wrong in the past and felt like I'd kind of just got to let it go and move on, but never really let go of. So I can see quite clearly now that it's a very deeply rooted belief that humans have. Our illusionary human self, our avatar, our person we call Sally or Fred or Bert or whatever, that by being a separate individual, we have fundamentally done something wrong. We have broken away from oneness, from love, from our true awareness, from God, from Source. And it's a very hidden, not recognized guilt that we carry, that we have somehow destroyed love. And then we have made this separate being and all these other separate beings, and we blame each other and we feel guilty because of this story and that story. And it's because we're trying to displace our guilt onto other people, subtly blaming other people, or just generally feeling bad, or that there's something wrong with us, because we're not being our true self, that we're not this God energy, this love, this source that we know ultimately we really, really are. And we've split away from it in our mind. We haven't really ever left it. Just in our mind, we've split away from it. And that's taken us into this place of guilt and blame and separation and loneliness, and that I am different, that nobody understands me, that somewhere in my dark history I've done something wrong, and so it makes me a bad person, and I'm finding it very difficult to let that go. But it's our self-concept of who we are, which is a difficult one to get your head around, because it feels like we are this human, that we are, Sally or Fred or whoever. But as soon as we label ourselves as separate from love, we are guilty. We feel guilty because we have left our true self, which is this wholeness, this oneness, this pure formless awareness of perfect love, this infinite source energy. So it can feel a bit confusing to try and get your head around it. So probably don't try and get your head around it, and just accept there may be something in this. Maybe you're aware that you've got this feeling you've done something wrong. For me, I kept having this childhood memory come up of having this dog as a child, and it used to bark and run up and down the hedge, and then one day it got out through the hedge in a hole in the hedge, and it bit this guy that kept tormenting him on the other side of the hedge. This guy kept walking past every day and teasing the dog, and then when the dog actually did get out, I'm laughing, but it's kind of nervous laugh, it sunk its teeth into his back of his trousers. And afterwards there was a family conflab about it. Everyone felt really bad about it, and it seemed to me they blamed me. They said, Sally, you've got to look after your dog better, or something like that. And I just took on all this guilt. It felt like I was the blame for all the unhappiness in the family, and that I'd not looked after this dog properly, and it had bit somebody. And then every time the dog barked, my mother would scream, "Stop that dog!" And I'd go into panic because I'd want to calm her down. And there's no way I could have caught this dog because it was running up and down this huge long hedge. And I always felt like I'd done wrong. And then later in life, when I had my own dogs, I always felt like I wasn't looking after them properly. And it's mad. Absolutely mad. But it's only now that I recognise, it's only in this last year that I fully can see the picture of this separation. When we separate, we feel like we've done something wrong. Then we project out a story. Our mind makes this illusionary story up that we've done something wrong. And it might be so subtle it's hidden in you and you're not aware of it. It took me a long time to add 2 and 2 together and realise what it was all about. Most people have some memory that they've created where they've done something wrong. Often in childhood, often in the first 7 years for women, probably 8 years for men. And they've got some image where they feel like they did something wrong. And in my experience, lots of people have got a story of that, a memory of that they hold in their energy. And you can release on it and you can release on it. And sometimes you have to go back to a deeper source, which is that original separation from source. And that might make no sense to you at all. So I am going to do a release statement on it, and you'll just have to trust me that there'll be something in this release statement for you. So I'm going to say the words if you'd like to repeat them after me. I'm ready to release believing I have done something wrong. I release all trauma, all energy reversals, all resistant emotions connected with this. I release the root cause of choosing this, of creating this, of believing I'm wrong in any way. I release believing I'm a bad person, that I am guilty and deserve to be punished. I release all patterns, however subtly or hidden, of blaming others, of putting my guilt onto others. I release all thoughts of separation, all feelings of being alone, of being different to others, of feeling scared and or fearful. I release all this from my energy now, in all forms, on all levels, at all points in time. I'm ready to release believing I've done something wrong. I release all trauma connected with this. I release all deep-seated, resistant emotions connected. I release the root cause of choosing this, of creating this, of believing something bad has happened, of believing I'm wrong in any way. I release believing I'm a bad person, that I'm guilty and deserve to be punished. I release all patterns, however subtle or hidden, of blaming others, of putting my guilt onto others. I release all thoughts of separation, of being alone, of being different to others. of feeling scared or fearful. I release all this from my energy now, in all forms, on all levels, at all points in time. I am ready to release believing I have done something wrong. I release all resistant emotions and energy reversals and trauma connected with this. I release the root cause of choosing this, of believing I am wrong in any way, that I am a bad person, that I am guilty and deserve to be punished. I release all patterns, however subtle or hidden, of blaming others, of putting my guilt onto others. I release all thoughts of separation, of being alone, of being different, of feeling scared or fearful. I release all this from my energy now, in all forms, on all levels, at all points in time. Just keep your eyes closed for a moment if they are closed, and just rest your arms down by your sides. And just listen for a few moments. You've done nothing wrong. It was an illusion, a story you made up, which you can let go now. You completely and utterly release this now. And know that you are one. You always have been, and you always will be. And just breathe. Breathe out any old memories, thoughts, patterns that have kept you separated or believing that you were separated. Just let them go now. Just set the intention, decide, choose to let go of all those separate feelings, separate thoughts. I'm just going to be quiet for a moment to see what comes up for you. Sometimes I have memories that come up and then it reminds me, oh yeah, I did feel that and I did think that. I can just let it go now. If you need longer, then just pause the polo, pause the video. And then if you're ready for your step 5, then I suggest you put your hands up, palms up to the sky if you're in a place where you can do that. And then say something like this. I am perfect, whole and complete, just as I am. I am innocent. I am oneness. I release this from my energy, the energy of the group. I'm going to release. I am perfect, whole and complete, just as I am. I am innocent. I am oneness, and I welcome this into the group energy, into my home, into my life experience, in all forms, on all levels, at all points in time. I am perfect, whole and complete just as I am. I am innocent. I am one. I welcome this into my experience, into my knowingness, in all forms, all levels, all points in time. I am perfect, whole and complete, just as I am. I am one, in all forms, all levels, all points in time. Just rest your arms down. Just allow yourself to feel connected, at one. Just know it's perfect how everything is unfolding. It's absolutely perfect. Namaste, which means I see the light in you that's in me. I see the oneness in you that is in me, that is me.